What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another reaction with your boy Isaac, man. Today we got Crip Mac exposed. I seen this pop up on my suggestions, cause let me know if y'all be watching Swamp Stories, bro. I ain't gonna lie, this one of my favorites. I'm not subscribed. That's crazy. I be watching all of their videos, but nah, I rock with Swamp Stories, man. They like one of my favorite channels that be doing like the documentary type stuff like that. So yeah, we got Crip Mac exposed, revealing his deepest secrets and why LA takes him as a joke. If you from LA and you know anything about like whatever they finna say in here, y'all let me know. But yeah, man, we just gonna get straight into the video. Shout out Crip Mac though.
It was the Swamp Stories video.
Now, cuz whoever made that, you're
Oh. So what is this? This like a beef response video or something? Like this ain't even regular documentary. Damn, he going hard.
What was the issue with the documentary?
me cuz trying to say all the bad to the king. You fight me? We a small turn.
Would you ever get the tattoo removed?
Never. Never. Neighborhood Crip, never. I am Crip and Mac. I am HK Destruction on Hustlers. I got many other names on Hustlers. I am a certified young 55th Street General on Hood.
Welcome back to another episode of Swamp Stories. For this video, we do something completely out of the ordinary. A while back, I decided to make the channel more serious and to avoid these kind of videos. But after seeing Crip Mac lie about his life story, diss me, and call out people that he's never met, I decided.
Oh, okay, so this personal. This is gonna be like a little beef response video or something. I didn't even know like Crip Mac was actually into it with Swamp Stories. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Decided that I have to go in. After I dropped my original 55th Street video, my DMs were flooded with LA people telling me that Crip Mac is a complete fraud. Initially, I ignored these messages because I figured that it was just haters being haters. But once I saw that he dissed me, I decided to look into it myself. What if I told you that everything Crip Mac has ever said was a lie and that keeping it 55th Street was never his life? Or shall I say, keeping it 55th Street? Enough is enough. Today is the day where Crip Mac will never disrespect Swamp Stories again. But before we get into it, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. You can also subscribe to the second channel where you can find videos just like this one. Yes, go subscribe to Swamp Shorts where you'll find 10 to 15 minute videos that don't make the main channel. And with all that being said, let's get right into it. The story begins about an hour and a half east of South Central LA, the suburban city of Rancho Cucamonga, California. If you're unfamiliar, this is where the movie Next Friday was filmed.
No more locked doors! Gracias!
But it's also where a young man named Trevor Hurd was born in February of 1993. Despite living in the suburbs, life was not always peaches and cream for young Trevor. In fact, at just 2 years old, his father, Trevor Sr., moved out to Orange County. However, his young mother named Crystal was able to hold down multiple jobs and get them a house in the nearby Ontario, California. This quiet and peaceful cul-de-sac is where Trevor spent the majority of his childhood, far from the wild streets of LA. From 1st to 3rd grade, Trevor attended Newman Elementary in Chino Hills, one of the highly ranked schools in the Inland Empire. However, despite being a sheltered kid, Trevor had all sorts of behavioral issues growing up.
I mean, this kid was jumping out of the window, at 6 and 7 years of age, to go out and explore and come back. And I just we had to lock the windows, and I'm sure he felt like incarcerated. And I know that feeling.
So what they trying to say? Crip Mac not from the hood or something?
He definitely needed some guidance. He went to Newman Elementary School.
I don't know, man. Like he definitely be out there. I don't know too much about LA, but I know if you ain't from there, they ain't gonna just let you you feel me? I don't know, man. We gonna see.
Tons of calls daily. Just your son, he's not doing what we're asking him to do. He's doing just the opposite. So it's not that he's just not doing it. He's gonna do the opposite. We threw Ritalin at him. We threw the Ridazine, everything to try to get him regulated. So me being a young mom, that was very, very challenging.
To mend these issues, Trevor's mom sent him to a private military boarding school hours away. However, after 14 months, Trevor was expelled and sent back home to Chino, California.
So we put him in military school, and they did drills, they did academics, they did PT. He was up early in the morning, and he was disciplined for about 14 months. Very challenging on me.
So the military school didn't help him at all?
He got kicked out of military school. Kicked out of military school. They said, I'm sorry, we
That's
don't
crazy.
have anything else that we can offer your
How
son."
you get kicked out of military school, gang? Like, ain't they the ones, like, that's supposed to be disciplining niggas the most? How you get... Hey, he had to do some crazy shit.
This time, his behavior is too drastic.
By the time Trevor returned home, his mother already had plans to move to Houston, Texas with her boyfriend. This would be a man known as Mr. Gary, who lived in the suburb of Katy, Texas. According
Katy,
to CMAC,
Texas,
he didn't
Dallas,
move to Texas
Texas,
until 2009 or 2010.
So what age was that you went to Texas?
Hold on, god damn it. Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
2000, god damn it.
He funny as hell, though.
2009, 2010.
Okay.
That's a teenager on hood in Houston, Texas. I did 2 years out there. I never graduated or nothing, but look, at least I went. Look.
But according to his mom, he actually moved there as a little kid.
Oh, so he was there 14 months?
Yes.
You know what age?
I want to say roughly 7 to 9.
Oh, young.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then at that point, that's when he moved to Texas.
So for the next few years, Trevor went to middle school in Katy, Texas, and things were kind of coming together for the family. But then everything came crashing down. One day after returning home from work, Trevor's mom walked in on something she never thought she'd see. She walked in on her beloved Mr. Gary with a Brock Lesnar lookalike. As you would expect, this ended everything for Mr. Gary, and Trevor and Crystal moved in with Granny.
What you mean, gang? Like, what you mean she walked in on her with a... What you... Huh? I'm confused.
Bear in Katy, Texas. However, Granny decided to send him to school in Houston so he could be with a family friend. Little did Granny know this family friend was an official Rolling 60s member from...
Oh,
We
okay.
all love to play.
So that's when it
Whether you
started.
play for an hour or for 24.
Let's do it.
Southwest Houston. Well, when Trevor met him, he decided to tell him that he himself was an official Rolling 60s member from LA. He also told him that he went by Woodard in the streets.
Yeah.
You meet Woodard, you know, he sophomore, junior, your senior year, you know, however.
I'm the reason he ended up going to Hastings.
Okay, just walk us through y'all's relationship.
All right. His grandma stayed in Katy. You already know Katy is not an A-Leaf
The
school
suburb.
district. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Fort B and ISD.
Mm-hmm. I stayed.
Damn
I
near
always
Sugar
stayed at
Land.
A-Leaf, yeah.
Right.
So he was registered to my house to go to Hastings because I went to Hastings.
The school he attended was Elsick Hastings, and it just so happened to be in a Rolling 60s neighborhood. Well, when CMAC got there, he began telling everyone that he was an official Rolling 60s member from LA. To make matters worse, he even told them that they're doing everything
they
wrong.
trying to say
How
he
suburban
cap?
Trevor felt like he was in position to tell them anything is beyond me.
So when he came out here to us, he made it seem
Yeah,
like
I'm
he was
saying,
good.
like, you can't just say you this and you not this. They gonna go check. Like, I know a couple members that's really, you know what I'm saying? And I know they told me personally that you can't just say that. Like, you gotta be, feel me? You gotta have ties. And they gonna go check on that. So, what's going on?
But you know, I don't
He was
know.
saying he was from there. He was saying he was
No,
on the set.
he was saying he was on the set.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, for contrast, let's let suburban Trevor tell
I
the
ain't
story
saying
himself.
he
Y'all
won't,
not
but
doing right out
if
here.
that's
Crips
true,
don't
that's
get along
crazy.
with Crips in LA. And you know, didn't say nothing, kill. And then, they dope feed me and beat the out of me.
Well, that was not the real reason he was DP'd. It was actually for false claiming 60s.
You see Crip back around. He's hanging around, and he comes to Hood Day. So that's Texas Hood Day. You talking
Yeah,
about
Texas hood.
for the 60s.
Yeah.
Okay, so he coming to the hood day, and at the hood day he on the set.
Yeah, nah.
According to
him.
Okay, and he has to be like 15, 16, 14 around the
16. I'm gonna say 16, 17. Don't get it twisted. He always was big Crip, you know what I'm saying? But he wasn't. If you get what I'm saying.
The Houston 60s thought that he was an official member from LA and they accepted him in. But once they got a call from LA, everything would go bad.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, y'all. Like, if you saying you something, like, I ain't gang affiliated. Don't get it fucked up. But I know a lot of niggas who is. So I know if you saying you something, they gonna make those calls and they gonna figure out if you telling the truth. So, yeah, that's crazy.
A year later, he been thugging with you. Y'all rocking. You know what I'm saying? And y'all get a call.
Treating them like family and all that.
And y'all get a call from the motherland.
Yeah.
Cali.
Yeah, we talking to him, everything. Woo-woo. They was like, nah, cuz ain't never get put on. So, you already know that's a total offense to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody who put they blood, sweat, and tears of this shit, but don't play with it. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a from. Don't play with it.
How did y'all react when y'all got the news that it was flawed?
It was, you lied to us, so this is what we're gonna do, and this is how we're gonna handle it. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't handle that pressure. He took off.
What you mean, took off?
Oh, he took off. After that happened, we don't hear from him.
He wouldn't be heard of in Houston for years. After he was caught cosplaying a Rolling 60, he decided to head back to Cali. And here is where the story gets even more twisted. C-Mac claims that he went from Houston to South Central at 16.
Packed my shit and ran back to LA. I was on 59th and 8th Avenue by Crenshaw and Slauson by Nips Hood. I was in the Dorset Village with them niggas over there, you know. Then I moved with my auntie on 45th and Western.
But in reality, C-Mac was living in Chino and attending Fontana High School. If you don't believe me, he actually said it on his old Facebook page, and he's in the class of 2011 yearbook. But just because he was living in the suburbs does not mean that he wasn't banging. In fact, he started his own hood. On December 22nd, 2012, Crip Mac officially started the Trey Chino Gator Crips. But wait, later that same day, he actually changed the name to the Trey Deuce Chino Gator Crips. I suppose they moved the block over or something? I don't know. But here's how committed he was. He decided he would get them tatted on his arm. Well, it's actually not a they, because C-Mac was the only member. Because of this, he had ultimate control, kind of like a Madden franchise. He chose Chino as the city, a gator as the logo, and green as their color. So from what I'd assume, C-Mac would stand outside his cul-de-sac, wave his green rag, and wait for any devious soccer moms to roll down the block. But wait, just a week later, their name would change once again, now known as the 4-5 Chino Gators. Well, this only lasted for 8 more days, as C-Mac then decided that he was a 5-deuce Hoover. He even dissed the whole neighborhood card. Yes, in 2012, Crip Mac claimed Hoover and dissed the whole neighborhood card. If you ask me, that's not keeping it nifty on 50s. Well, his life as an internet Hoover would not last long, as now he was on to claiming different hoods. On January 24th, 2013, C-Mac was invited to a party hosted by the Trey 57 Pomona Crips. And what do you know, just 2 days later, C-Mac is on Facebook claiming Trey 57 and dissing their opposition. At this point, Crip Mac is like the Tiana Trump of the LA streets. But wait, we're not even in the LA chapter of his life yet, and from here it only gets worse. Before going to LA, C-Mac would claim one more made-up set, the 7-1 Chino Villains. Well, this did not last long, and now he was on to his next venture, rapping.
Get money every time. Get money. Your girl likes me and my swag.
Okay.
At this point, he's already 20 years old. He tried being a Rolling 60 in Texas, then came back, tried to claim 5 different sets, and then pursue a rap career. So now, what is the next step for C-Mac DeLoke, also known as Suburban Trevor? Well, this is when he finally moved to the city of Los Angeles, moving in with his girlfriend on 111th in Vermont. From here, he tried to get put onto Acacia Block in Compton, but they didn't want him, so he decided to keep it moving. His next try was the infamous Rolling 60s, and they decided to let him in. So in August of 2013, Crip Mac officially joined the Rolling 60s. At 20 years old, his lifelong dream had finally come true. Crip Mac had made it out of the suburbs and into the streets of South Central LA. The reverse of what everyone else in the world is trying to do. I guess Crip Mac was the original Ja Morant. Well, unfortunately, his life as a Rolling 60 would not last long. In fact, after just—
I ain't gonna lie, y'all, like, he be doing hella research for these videos. Like, how did you even find all this out? Like, that's crazy. He did hella research.
The year he was DP'd and put off the set.
However it went, I didn't make the cut through the GP. I got put off, whatever.
His dream life was now over with. He literally tried everything possible to become a respected member of something. He then decided to move to Vegas with his mother for the next year. But after a year in Vegas, C-Mac returned to South Central LA as he decided to give banging one more try. Sometime between January of 2015 and 2017, C-Mac was officially put on to 55th Street. This means that he was put on between the ages of 22 and 24 years old. Regardless, from this day, it's been 55th Street ever since. Why they'd accept an applicant like him who's been tossed around, I don't know, but here we are. After a year of being a 55th Street member, C-Mac was arrested and sent to jail for stealing a bike. C-Mac actually did 2 years in prison where he programmed Time 5. Well, after being released in 2020, he returned to LA with content creation on his mind. At first, it was simply funny videos that caught people's attention, but then he started dissing the Hoovers relentlessly.
I ain't letting up on them. Yeah. Ever.
When the Hoovers saw this, they were shocked because they didn't even know who this was. This is because out of his then 27 years of life, only 3 were actually spent in LA. Thus why the enemies he has whacked out on his forehead claim they've never seen him in their life.
C-Mac is like really like not a focus in my eyes. I have never seen him. I don't know nobody, none of my friends seen him. Like, I mean, he just like something to joke around with, like play with it, but I'm worried about that man like that. Ain't no serious like topic. Like,
I gotta ask, how did the beef with you and C-Mac start?
I'm gonna correct it. First of all, it's not no beef.
Okay.
Like, no, there's no way we beef.
Okay.
That's entertainment. Ain't no such thing as no beef.
Because you never met him, never seen him.
I never seen him. I never heard of him before the internet. Like I said, I've been in the streets my whole life. I never heard of him or nothing, so I'm finna beef with him. I'm not finna beef with you over no internet. I got too much street credit for that. Like, I don't know who you are. 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 I don't know who you are.
No one in South Central knew who C-Mac was because he spent his entire life in Texas and Chino Hills. Oh yeah, and Las Vegas as well. Regardless, it was a true recipe for YouTube success, and Adam22 began taking notice. On March 16th, 2021, the Crip Mac No Jumper interview was dropped and it went absolutely viral. One thing to notice is that since that video, his voice and cadence has changed completely.
I love it. Sometimes people hit me up and I think it's a setup. So I block the account. You know, see that? You just blocked your biggest fan.
He imitates the gang life, but he's not a gangbanger. Yeah. It's just not a gang.
Well, after the No Jumper interview, all of the fans wanted to see him in his hood. And boom, that's when Andrew Callahan drops the legendary Crip Mac vlog. After watching the video, the first thing that came to my mind is where are all of his fellow members?
Crazy.
Why is it always just him on the block? In vlog after vlog after vlog, I could not find any fellow 55th Street members. Where are the 55th Street members? The whole world needed to know. And unfortunately, we all found out in the worst way possible. In January of 2022, Crip Mac's old Facebook page was revealed. All of the posts claiming fake sets, dissing the neighborhood card, and saying he's done with banging. And this is when the 55th Street members decided to come out of the woodworks. His fellow members gave him one of the worst DPs in history that lasted over 7 minutes long. But the worst part about it is that they recorded it and uploaded it to the internet. This was dead wrong on so many levels. Yes, C-Mac should not have posted all that, but why would you disrespect your brother to that extent? And as a 30-year-old man, why are you letting this happen to you? But that's when we learned that this is how 5'5" treats Crip Mac on the regular.
You'd have been DP like 5 times.
About 5 times.
Times.
About 5 times.
Need prescription eyewear fast? iBuyDirect ships hundreds of frames with 2-day delivery. iBuyDirect.com.
When a glass of bourbon and barbecue sauce love each other very much, they, you know.
You know, but a GP only makes a man stronger because you can survive harder in the county jail.
Yeah.
Trust us to leave that.
From what I heard, in South Central, they call dudes like C-Mac total crash dummies. Guys like him from the suburbs are treated badly by their set and they're told to do things they don't want to do. Maybe this explains all of the face tats, how he speaks, and why he's always trying to overprove himself. For guys like King Von, for example, they're actually born into this life, almost without a choice. But for Crip Mac, he decided to move to LA at 21 years old and join a crew that he didn't know a single member of. Not to mention that he chose to have ops that don't even know he exists. All of this to fill his identity crisis and void for brotherhood. So for all of the young men out there dealing with the same thing, please realize that this is not the way to do it. Going to college or joining the military will fill that void 10 times over. Well, on a positive note, Crip Mac is extremely entertaining and has a true talent for YouTube. His natural charisma and talent for entertainment got him millions of views. From what I would estimate, the channel probably generated hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. But unfortunately, he keeps giving the keys to his channel to local hood OGs. Whether it's Coach Warren or King Five Fingers or Christopher Lovejoy, they all seem to end up with all of his pages and channels. Crip Mac, stop giving away your channels to people who are gonna leech off you. Stop. You can do this yourself and you can laugh to the bank. Well, that takes us to May of 20.
I like how Swamp Stories, like, even though he like responding like on some beef response shit, like, he still keeping it positive, giving them, like, you know, good advice and all that. Like, that's real.
23. This is when Crip Mac was released from prison after a year for Billy Western.
What is that? Whoa, he hitting it. Nah, that's funny.
As soon as he got out, he started taking everything to the next level. He started dissing everyone, and pretty much for no reason. He's actually been challenging everyone to squabble as well. This includes Whack 100, Bosco, and even Blueface. In fact, he's been dissing Blueface for quite a while.
Doing a boxing match. No chance for a boxing match.
I mean, if it happens, it happens. That ain't my type of crib.
Okay. What is it about Blueface that you say it's not your type?
I'm a play ball crip. I really do this shit in real life. My cripping is more legit than kill. I'm still gonna keep it like that. It's five ever like that. My cripping is five.
How you start beefing with Blueface,
yeah?
y'all?
Break Blueface's nose. Yeah, break Blueface's nose.
Now everyone was worried about what would happen if Crip Mac ran into Blueface. But what we must remember is that deep down, he's still suburban Trevor from Chino Hills. This is what actually happened when he ran into Blueface.
Blueface, baby.
What's up? Yeah, you want to see by your hood? Oh, yeah.
I was cuz told me.
What told you? Said it's straight, right?
Yeah, cut on wood. Kind of like, that's my boy. Cut on wood.
Keep it clear. Same color rag.
You may be.
He just said he was gonna break his nose. Chill.
Wondering why C-Mac didn't keep the same energy, but this might be why. I don't even know what to say. Even after he was friendly in person with Blueface, C-Mac is still dissing him online.
I want to beat Blueface's face. I want to whoop his scrawny light skin. I want to bust his face open.
Not only is he internet tough with Blueface, but also with YG as well. Here's a video of Crip Mac meeting YG.
Hey, YG.
To everyone watching, this seems like a pretty normal, friendly conversation. But in the mind of Crip Mac, somehow he pressed YG.
Blueface and YG, I worked with YG, let cuz know where I'm from and my name. He done been banged back with his name. He want to get that shit out. Oh, I'm Buddha, Woochie Wolf, West Side Trees. I know your name, YG.
but you gonna come act straight out, nigga. You don't know me,
I don't know how he thought that that was the situation, but I guess anything goes for Suburban Trevor. To make matters worse, C-Mac decided to randomly diss Mozzie.
Recently, you made a post about Mozzie.
Oh, yeah, cut.
So can you kind of talk about that and explain that a little bit?
My cuz not playing ball like that. Cuz not doing what niggas like I'm doing it for niggas do. You find me on hustlers. It ain't taking nothing from what cuz talk about, cuz, but you not actively doing it, cuz. You find me on hustlers, you got a good flow, cuz. Quit playing with this boy. Trying to go over here at FIP.
Clearly, Chino Boy Trevor has no clue what he's talking about. What he doesn't understand is that the difference between down south and up north is that up north it's not just a game. And with that being said, that's gonna do it for this episode of Swamp Stories. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to leave a...
Alright, y'all, so that's gonna do it for this one, but nah, that's kinda crazy, I ain't gonna lie. And Crip Mac beefing with a lot of people I ain't even know he was beefing with. That's crazy. How y'all feel about it, man? Comment down below, let me know. I'm gonna see y'all boys in the next one.